Another classic track is back on the Formula One calendar. The Dutch Grand Prix returns in 2020, and with it, a history that runs back to 1952, one filled with legendary moments. Making mistakes wasn't in Alain Prost's racing nature, but one of the few he made was at the 1983 Dutch Grand Prix. He was fighting for the title against Nelson Piquet, and with the Brazilian in front after 42 laps, the battle was tight. Prost went for a move into the first corner, Tarzan. The Frenchman had the advantage but hit a bump and lost control of his Renault, crashing into Piquet with his front wing. The Brazilian was out, while Prost continued, but retired soon after with a damaged nose. Piquet would go on to win his second World Championship title that year, while the Professor would have to wait 2 more years to get the first of 4.
For sure it's not his fault, it's my fault anyway, but I think for me it was not a big risk. I was sure to pass him in this corner and I was just near him. But I had a problem with the front brakes because I think I was a bit too on the right of the track.
Was his mistake? I don't think he did purpose because it's also his championship. But wow, that's everybody human being, everybody can do mistakes.
The 1985 edition was Zandvoort's farewell to Formula One, and also Niki Lauda's 25th and final victory, as he would retire at the end of the season. However, the win didn't come easy. He charged from 10th on the grid and powered through a 12-lap-long fight with McLaren teammate Prost, with only 2 tenths separating the two legends as they crossed the finish line. Back in 1977, James Hunt and Mario Andretti set the tone for a heated race right from the beginning. Hunt made a superb start from 3rd position, challenging pole sitter Andretti side by side through turn 1. With the two virtually rubbing tyres, Hunt held on and took the lead, with Andretti falling to 3rd place behind Jacques Laffite. But the battle wasn't over. The Lotus driver was soon back in 2nd and began reeling in Hunt. 3 laps later, they were side by side again, and neither would give in. The fight was close. So close that the rear wheel of Hunt's McLaren touched the front of the Lotus. Hunt retired immediately, while Andretti continued, only to retire on lap 14 with an engine issue. In 1979, Canadian legend Gilles Villeneuve gave a masterclass in car control that was written into history. He was leading the race when a softening rear tyre started to slow him down. A few laps later, the tyre finally blew out. It was then that one of Formula One's most heroic laps began. The Ferrari driver completed a full lap back to the garage on 3 wheels, increasingly damaging his rear suspension with each passing corner. When he finally made it to the pit lane, there was little left on that corner of the car, but he received some well-deserved comfort from his team. When Formula One landed in Zandvoort in 1975, everyone had their money on another Ferrari win. But there was a charismatic, blonde Englishman who was about to get his breakthrough victory and ruin many bets. On race day, conditions were wet, and James Hunt was 3rd on the grid, with Niki Lauda's all-powerful Ferrari leading the pack. After a few laps, the track started to dry out, and Hunt, in the Hesketh, was one of the first drivers to take the gamble to stop for fresh, slick tyres. The risk paid off, and 8 laps later he was leading the race, but with Lauda steadily closing the gap. Hunt was driving for his life, determined to take his first Formula One victory. And he did, with that year's world champion Lauda just 1 second behind. A great day for Hunt and the unconventional Hesketh team, who celebrated a first British win in 4 seasons. Now Formula One will start a new chapter in history, and will witness more of the drama, passion and excitement which made the Dutch Grand Prix a must-watch for so many years.